Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Russell here, and with many provinces across the country locked down, the third application for many people in these lockdown regions for the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit is now open. But this application hasn't gone off without a hitch. You see, one of the major ways that people apply for these benefits on the CRA side of things is completely down. So in today's video, not only will we talk about this application and the problems that are going on currently with it, but we'll also talk about how long is left for people who are already claiming the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit to keep receiving it with the current looser guidelines for who can receive it and what's deemed a lockdown. And also we're going to touch on a topic that I know is important to a lot of people, which is the guaranteed income supplement. Many seniors have had this clawed back. We're going to talk about when seniors may be able to expect a one-time payment from the Government of Canada, hoping to reimburse them for these issues. But before we do, make sure to take a look down there in the description, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and check out all of those links in the description. Whenever you use them, you're directly supporting this channel, so I appreciate it when you do that. All right, let's get into one of the biggest issues going on within the CRA today. As you can see here, on the same day that applications opened up for this new Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit application period, well, the CRA put out this statement. They said, "We're unable to process applications for the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit over the phone at the moment due to technical difficulties. You can apply via My Account while we work to resolve this issue." When they say My Account, that's in reference to the online application that many people do apply to this benefit for, or through the online portal. However, the issue here is that many people can't apply through this online portal, and even some who try to apply through this portal, if there's anything that's sort of fishy about their application or the CRA wants to verify more information, well, what they'll say is that you need to call into the CRA to verify your account and to make sure that you can actually get this application. So with this online system being the only way that you can go and no recourse on the phones, well, this is challenging for a lot of people who have been trying to apply. And the same notice is here on the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit page, essentially saying that we don't know when this service is going to be back up, but for now you can only apply online. So hopefully many of you who are applying on the phones will be able to, or maybe have already gotten through before this problem arose, and if not, hopefully this gets resolved quickly so that you can get your application in if you're not able to apply online. And as always, each and every province and territory has to actually qualify their area as under lockdown. That's the 50% restriction that current definition is set at, and they've updated this for the most recent period. You can see here in Alberta, as well as British Columbia, Manitoba, New Brunswick, all of these provinces, Ontario as well, they've all been now verified for period 11, which is the most recent period. You'll see that that spans from January 2nd to January 8th. You might remember that you actually apply for the period after it's already happened. After that entire period's happened, then they can determine, hey, yes, this area was in lockdown throughout this period, and we're going to open up applications for it as such. So now that application is 100% open on the CRA's website, at least, even if you can't reach them on the phones. And if you're one of the lucky people who has been able to get through and apply, you might be wondering, hey, how long is this going to last? When is this actually going to end? And that's a little bit confusing if you sort of sift through all this information on the website. You'll take a look here on the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit website. They say that the time that the Canada Worker Lockdown Benefit is available is between October 24th, 2021 and May 7th, 2022. But the reality is most people won't be able to receive these benefits all the way until May. Now let me show you why. When this benefit was initially released in the first place, nobody was eligible for it because there were very few places in the country that were in 100% lockdown. And when all of these provinces started locking down due to the Omicron variant, they had to alter the application requirements so that areas and provinces that weren't under full lockdown but were only under a 50% capacity limit, well, they would actually be eligible for this to be determined as a lockdown region as well. But these looser guidelines where they've changed the definition of what a lockdown is, well, they don't last that entire time until May 7th. In fact, they only last between the periods of December 19th, 2021 to February 12th, 2022. So if you're keeping track of things, I'll show you here. These are the periods that you can apply for the Canada Worker Lockdown benefit. When you do the drop-down menu, and here as well, it says May 7th that you can apply for it, and there's all these periods leading all the way up to May 7th. But in reality, this benefit will only go to period 16 here, the February 6th to February 12th, 2022, because as soon as we get past that February 12th date, well, it will all be determined, well, it won't be determined to be under a lockdown region, unless you're 100% under lockdown, not this 50% looser requirement that is allowing many of these provinces to actually be eligible for this Canada Worker Lockdown benefit. So if you're keeping track, after this week, that's only 5 more periods of this Canada Worker Lockdown benefit, and as of right now, we don't really know what the whole pandemic situation is going to look like at the end of those 5 weeks. Now, the government does have the option to extend this looser eligibility requirement all the way until May if it wanted to, and it wouldn't even have to pass this through the House of Commons. They could just sort of snap their fingers and change this via regulation, not legislation. So we'll be keeping our eyes peeled for that to find out whether or not they're going to extend it. Now, another thing that we need to take a look at for the government is the GIS repayment. Now, an update for this issue, if you haven't been following along with it, is that many seniors who previously received GIS, the guaranteed income supplement, many of the lowest income seniors who are most vulnerable, well, they've had their GIS clawed back and not been given these benefits this year, because in previous years, last year in fact, they received more income than usual because of receiving benefits, and now, even though those benefits aren't available, well, they still have their GIS clawed back due to the increase in income that they showed. Now, the government flagged this as a big issue for them, but they're not acting very quickly on it. Let me show you. In this recent update from the Department of Finance, well, they explain this issue that I just mentioned previously, but they propose a solution. They say the government proposes to provide up to $742.4 million for one-time payments to alleviate the financial hardships of GIS and allowance recipients who receive CERB or the CRB. So their idea is that, hey, we don't need to worry about actually getting these GIS payments reinstated. We'll just give everyone a one-time payment that will make up for it. Now, when it comes to the details around this repayment, this one-time payment going to seniors who were on GIS previously, we don't have the details. We don't have the details on how this is going to be calculated, so how much each individual senior will receive, and we also don't have the details on when this could actually happen. You might remember that the House of Commons dissolved leading into the holidays, and they're actually not reconvening until the end of January. So in order to get this payment out to many seniors who are waiting for it, well, they have to pass more legislation, and that definitely won't happen until the end of January. And even when they were debating this in the House of Commons, saying many oppositions of the Liberal Party said, hey, unless we pass it right now, these seniors are going to be waiting a long time, because not only do we have to pass it, the Senate has to pass it, and then it has to make its way to the CRA so that they can actually make sure that the infrastructure and the way to get these payments out is all set up. And many people in the finance department, as well as other parties, are saying that they expect this to be around May of 2022. So quite a long time to wait. And again, before we get any more information on this, we're going to have to wait until the end of January when all the politicians come back and sit in the House of Commons and we actually get some more information about what's going on. So that just about covers all the major updates that you need to know about right now. Let me know what you think about it down there in the comment section. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and check out all of those links in the description. Again, when you use those, you're just directly supporting the channel, and I'd greatly appreciate that. And with all that said, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really hope this video has helped you out at least a little bit, and I'll see you next time.